In late January, the Trump administration finally released its long-awaited plan to bring peace between the Palestinians and Israel. The plan is interesting, but it is not going to be acceptable to the Palestinian people, to most of the Arab world, and indeed is already showing signs of being unacceptable to parts of the Israeli public. So it's worth asking ourselves, well, what exactly is this peace plan, and why is the U.S. involved in the first place? Well, the second question is easy to answer. The U.S. has been involved in every Israeli negotiation with every Arab state since the beginning of Israeli statehood in 1948. So it's not surprising that the U.S. is still deeply involved in trying to bring peace between the Palestinians and the Israelis. But the real question is, well, what does any peace agreement need to contain? Well, ever since the 1967 war between the Arab states and Israel, it's been widely accepted that a peace agreement between the Palestinian people and the Israelis had to have three components. One, there had to be some decision on what would happen to the, at that time, hundreds of thousands of Palestinian refugees in the world. There are now millions because there have been many generations now of Palestinian refugees since 1948. Second, there would have to be some decision on borders so that there would be some kind of Palestinian homeland. And third, what would happen with Jerusalem, a city that is extremely holy to Christians, Jews, and Muslims? How would it be divided? Would it be divided? Who would maintain sovereignty over the holy sites? The Trump plan deals with these three issues in a way that's really very different from all of the previous very detailed plans that have been written. On borders, it creates a Palestinian homeland that is most of Gaza, so that's what everyone would expect, but a very small part of the West Bank and very divided. It's a lot of little Palestinian islands between seas of Israeli settlements that would make it very hard to create an actual state in the West Bank. Secondly, the peace plan does not say anything about what will happen to the refugees who are currently living as guests and refugees in many different countries. And that's just a non-starter with all of the Arab countries that are hosting these refugees, not to mention with the Palestinian people themselves. There has to be some understanding at the end of where all these folks will live and whether any compensation will be given to them for the homes and land that they lost when they were forced to flee. Thirdly, on the disposition of Jerusalem, the proposal calls for the Israelis to maintain sovereignty over not just West Jerusalem, which everyone has always expected them to do, but also over most of East Jerusalem, which historically is Arab and continues to be predominantly Arab today. The agreement does call for a new Palestinian capital to be in what they perhaps could call Jerusalem. It's far, far east of Jerusalem and Mideast. But that, again, is not going to be acceptable to the Palestinians, and it's probably not going to be acceptable to much of the Muslim world.